Donald Trump broke politics. And whether you love him, hate him, or are just perpetually confused by him, you've probably scratched your head wondering, how does he do that? It's like trying to debate a really confident toddler who also happens to run a multinational corporation. What makes his communication style, often dismissed as chaotic or even childish, so incredibly sticky? Why does it bypass all your logical defenses and just land? There's a secret sauce, a dark psychological playbook that most people entirely miss. And it's not about policy. It's about leveraging our deepest, most primal human instincts. Think less Shakespeare, more street fight. Less debate, more professional wrestling match. And trust me, once you see the moves, you can't unsee them. Let's dive into how he masterfully, and maybe even instinctively, exploits the glitches in our brains. First up, the almost hypnotically effective tactic of simplicity and repetition. Our brains are lazy. They love shortcuts. They crave familiarity. And Donald Trump, bless his heart, delivers on that like a pizza guy with a jetpack. His messages aren't complex. They're not nuanced. They're like an 8-track tape stuck on repeat. Think, build the wall, fake news, make America great again. These aren't just slogans. They're cognitive hacks. He boils down complex issues into easily digestible, emotionally charged sound bites. Why does this work? Because when information is repeated, our brains start to register it as more truthful, even if it's demonstrably false. It's called the illusory truth effect. Imagine hearing your neighbor repeatedly claim their cat is a secret agent. At first you'd laugh, but if they said it every single day with unwavering conviction for a year, you'd start side-eyeing that cat, wouldn't you? Trump understands that our reptile brain prefers simple, clear, loud signals over quiet, complex analysis. He doesn't need you to understand his policies. He needs you to feel them. He talks like a tweet storm, not a white paper. Every sentence is a punch, every phrase is slogan, and that consistent rhythm creates a sense of reliability for his base. Even amidst apparent chaos, you always know where you stand. Or at least, where he stands. Which brings us to point 2, emotional resonance over factual accuracy. This is where the dark part really kicks in. While political opponents are busy crafting fact sheets and policy proposals, Trump is in the emotional arena, delivering roundhouse kicks to your limbic system. He knows that fear, anger, resentment, and pride are far more potent motivators than GDP statistics or healthcare reform specifics. He paints vivid, often terrifying pictures of societal decay, economic collapse, or foreign threats, then positions himself as the sole protector. They're not sending their best, he declared about immigrants. That wasn't an economic statement, that was a primal fear trigger. The American dream is dead, he famously said in 2015. That's not a policy prescription, that's an immediate jolt of despair, quickly followed by the promise of his own salvific return. He evokes a sense of grievance, an us versus them mentality, without needing to justify the grievance with a litany of verified statistics. He validates the existing anxieties and frustrations of his audience. He often gives a voice to resentments that others might deem politically incorrect. And when you feel seen, heard, and validated in your anger, facts often become secondary. Your gut feeling takes over, logic gets knocked out, and emotion steps into the ring. This leads directly to the third point, the art of us versus them, the tribal commander. Humans are tribal creatures. We thrive in groups, and we fiercely defend our in-group from the out-group. Trump is a master of defining these boundaries. He doesn't just ask for your vote, he invites you into his tribe. And once you're in, the world is neatly divided. Patriots versus globalists, real Americans versus elites, the people versus the swamp. He gives his followers a shared identity, a common enemy, and a leader who speaks their language, often quite literally by adopting their slang or mirroring their perceived grievances. Think of his rallies. They're not just political events, they're communal gatherings, celebrations of shared identity. He makes you feel like you're part of an exclusive club, a resistance movement against the mainstream media, the deep state, or whoever the designated villain of the week might be. By constantly attacking these external entities, he reinforces the loyalty within his own ranks.
You're not just supporting a politician, you're joining a crusade. And the more they attack him, the more we must rally around him. It's a brilliant, if utterly Machiavellian, feedback loop. Next up, a tactic that makes even the most grounded among us feel a little dizzy: gaslighting and reality distortion. This isn't just lying, it's making you question your own perception of reality. When Donald Trump says, "I never said that," about something he demonstrably said on video, it creates a subtle, insidious doubt. Is my memory faulty? Did I misinterpret? Maybe the fake news did edit it. This constant barrage of contradictions, denials, and alternative facts isn't about convincing you of a new truth, it's about eroding your trust in any truth that doesn't come directly from him. It's like that game show where the contestant has to guess which statement is true, but all the statements sound equally absurd. After a while, you just give up and pick the one that feels right, or the one the host implies. He makes you feel like if you don't trust him, you can't trust anyone. This creates a vacuum of information, which he then fills with his own narrative. He dismantles the very foundation of objective reality, making truth a subjective, partisan experience. It's a power play. If he can control your perception of reality, he controls you.
Then there's the subtle genius of the crazy like a fox maneuver. Trump often appears to be unhinged, impulsive, and prone to gaffes. And for his critics, this is proof of his unsuitability. But for his supporters, and sometimes even for neutral observers, it creates a fascinating dynamic. When you expect a politician to be polished and scripted, and instead you get someone who seems to be speaking from the gut, it feels authentic, it feels raw. He sets expectations incredibly low, then consistently delivers something. The media will spend days dissecting a tweet, inadvertently giving it more oxygen, while he moves on to the next attention grab. This unpredictability keeps opponents constantly on their back foot, always reacting to his latest pronouncement. It's like a fighter who swings wildly, but every now and then, one of those wild swings connects hard. You can't prepare for chaos, can you? This perceived unpredictability also serves to lower your guard. When he occasionally says something conventional, it feels like a moment of surprising clarity, a pleasant anomaly. He plays the fool to gain an advantage, disrupting the traditional political theater and forcing everyone to play on his terms. And don't forget the classic projection and blame shifting. It's simple, effective, and as old as the schoolyard. Accuse your opponent of exactly what you're doing. Is he being accused of corruption? They are the corrupt ones. Is he facing allegations of election interference? No, they tried to rig the election. This tactic creates a cognitive overload, forcing the accuser to defend themselves against the very thing they were accusing him of. It's a masterful deflection, a rhetorical judo move where he uses the opponent's momentum against them. It muddies the waters, making it harder for the public to discern who is actually at fault. And for his base, it reinforces the idea that he is constantly under attack from unfair forces, making him a martyr they must defend. It's a defensive offense that keeps the narrative spinning, always in his favor, always shifting responsibility away from himself. Why take responsibility when you can just point a bigger, louder finger at someone else? Moving on to a more subtle art, ambiguity and plausible deniability. Ever notice how often he starts sentences with "some people are saying," or "many people agree," or "a lot of people think"? This isn't just casual conversation, it's a rhetorical shield made of marshmallow fluff. He can float controversial ideas, test the waters, or even spread unsubstantiated rumors, all without ever taking direct ownership. If it lands well, great. If it blows up, he can simply say, "Hey, I just reported what other people are saying." It allows him to plant seeds of doubt, fear, or resentment without ever committing to a definitive statement. He can signal to his base that he knows what they're thinking, that he's acknowledging their darkest suspicions, without ever having to provide evidence or be held accountable for the specific claim. It's a brilliant way to communicate without truly communicating, allowing his audience to fill in the blanks with their own anxieties and biases. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but with real-world consequences.
Finally, perhaps the most potent ingredient in his psychological cocktail, direct address and personalization. Ever notice how often he starts sentences with, "You've been left behind. You've seen your jobs go away. You are tired of the swamp." This isn't just casual language, it's an invitation, a personal connection. He frames himself as your champion, the only one who truly understands your plight. He frequently points to specific grievances, real or perceived, that resonate with large segments of the population, and then positions himself as the only one willing to speak those truths. This creates an intense bond, a feeling of being seen and understood by a powerful figure. He is the voice for the voiceless, the champion of the forgotten. And when someone makes you feel that seen, that understood, that validated, you tend to form a powerful allegiance. It bypasses the abstract and makes politics intensely personal, almost familial. He's not just running for office, he's running for you. So what's the real secret, the missing piece we promised? It's this. All these tactics, whether consciously deployed or intuitively stumbled upon, create a cohesive, impenetrable, and deeply effective psychological fortress. It's not just a collection of gaffes or chaotic ramblings, it's a strategically or perhaps instinctively designed system that bypasses your logical, critical thinking brain and appeals directly to your primitive emotional self. He treats politics like a cage match for hearts and minds, not a polite debate for policy wonks. He weaponizes frustration, tribalism, and fear, painting himself as the only capable leader to cut through the perceived deception and complexity of the modern world. It's a masterclass in emotional manipulation, designed to forge unshakable loyalty by making supporters feel like they are part of a secret righteous club, while everyone else is just wrong. And once you understand that, his seemingly chaotic communication suddenly makes perfect, terrifying sense. So I have to ask, do you think this approach is a blessing or a curse for modern political discourse? Let me know in the comments. And if you learned something new, hit like and subscribe for more insights.